My name is Courtney Benavides.
And my name is Isis Berger.
Today we are here to talk about integrating educational technology into the classroom. According to Dr. Arnold, educational technology is technology used by educators in support of teaching and learning. According to the website Edutopia, it also claims that properly used technology will help students acquire the skills they need to survive.
In order to teach you about integrating technology into the classroom, we have chosen a specific content standard about researching historic events with everyday resources. We will be addressing the two different kinds of resources, such as primary and secondary resources. We will also discuss how to use some of these resources. Not only will we be providing instruction on this specific topic, we will also be discussing why it's important to integrate technology into the classroom and how to do it effectively.
This lesson is intended for second graders and how to use primary and secondary resources to research Apollo 11.
Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Today's lesson is going to be on Apollo 11. Hey Courtney, do you know what Apollo 11 is?
I do, Isis, but why don't you explain it?
Okay, sure. Apollo 11 was the first spaceship to launch from Earth and make a successful landing on the moon.
Wow, that's incredible. How did you learn all of that?
Well, what I did is I did some research and then I used my sources to use all the information.
Like what?
Well, let me show you.
There are many resources out there that anyone can use for research. You can use the internet, dictionaries, encyclopedias, artifacts, newspapers, photos, and if you really want to get creative, you can even visit the museum. There are many resources out there, but you just have to know where to look. Wow, that's a lot of resources.
Yes, it is. And you see the way I demonstrated learning through the PowerPoint? Isn't that a great way to make you learn better, Courtney?
It is. Using a program such as PowerPoint is a great visual tool teachers can use. You can use Microsoft PowerPoint to create interactive presentations including text, art, animation, and audio and video elements. It allows teachers to present information and instruction to the entire class. It captures students' attention, and it can even be modified and used to be used over and over again.
Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
There are two different kinds of resources you can use. The first is a primary source, like interviews or photos,
Or newspapers, audio or video recordings, or even maps. Primary resources can be written or non-written. An example of a non-written primary source is a video recording. Here is an example of a non-written primary source.
3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32 minutes past the hour. Liftoff on Apollo 11.
Well, where can I find those resources?
There are many places that you can find resources. A great place to start is the internet. Let's go back to our subject of Apollo 11. So for example, if you wanted to find an interview that has to do with Apollo 11, you can use the internet to do that. The internet is a great tool for you to find sources. You can use search engines such as google.com, and you can type in things such as and it'll take you to sites where you can find great sources, such as this one, an interview. Here you can see our interview with Neil Armstrong, and then this is the interview.
Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
According to Robler and Doring, there are many free internet instructional sources out there educators can use. For example, if teaching geography, the internet offers free sites such as mapwindow.org and ppgis.net.
There are also mobile apps for education as well, Isis. For example, there is an app called In This Day in History. It is an interactive multimedia calendar that displays historical events for that current day. It offers photos, illustrations, and information for that day. These are great options to enhance learning in the classroom and keep the students engaged.
Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Now let's talk about secondary sources. Secondary sources are things such as encyclopedias, history books,
and even dictionaries. These kinds of resources have been analyzed and the information has been interpreted. This means that the information is no longer fresh and it has been written by other people and not the original person. This is an encyclopedia. This is a secondary source and it is in alphabetical order. The encyclopedia is divided by topics and subtopics. For example, if you wanted to learn more about Apollo 11, the main topic would be transportation, and the subtopic would be space. Then, as you read more, you will find more information such as Neil Armstrong became the first person to reach the moon.
So did you like learning about Apollo 11, Courtney?
I did, Aces. It was very interesting.
But did you know that 20% of Americans think that Apollo 11 didn't really land on the moon and that it was all made up?
Wow, I didn't know that.
Check out this video.
But believe it or not, some people say it never happened.
So why don't you go and use the information you have learned about primary
And secondary sources to come up with your own opinion on whether or not Apollo 11 really happened. We hope you enjoyed our digital story presentation on how to use resources in the classroom for second graders.
and also how to implement technology into the classroom. Thank you for watching.
Bye.